Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Belief Breakthrough Show. This month in October, it is Spiritual Awareness Month. So many of us do not understand the spiritual side of our being. As humans, we are mind, body, soul, and spirit. And if you don't have that connection with your spirit side, a piece of you is missing, and you're always going to be questioning your life. You're going to be feeling like there's something more that's supposed to be there, or looking for answers and not getting them. And so connecting with your spiritual self is extremely important. And we are so blessed today to have Tessa on the show with us. And she has volunteered to allow us to do a reading with her. So an energetic reading. This is something I do often with my clients, and it helps to remove blocks or to understand where you're feeling stuck and what really is that emotion or that memory that is keeping you stuck. A lot of times people think that there's something going on in their life and they think they know what it is, but they're not quite sure. And then what comes up is something completely opposite. And so it's really good to just check in with your body every once in a while and see what's going on when you feel like you're a little bit stagnant in your life. And so it takes a brave person to come on the show and let us do an energetic reading for them. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Tessa, for coming on here and being willing to be open with the world. So you've had something similar to this before, correct?
Yes, but probably not in this way. I've had a lot of healing in my life because my godmother was a healing, and I've broken loads of bones racing horses. So,
That's right. You have a great connection with horses, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So one really cool thing about horses is they are very majestic, and they themselves are healers. Horses are amazing healers in this world. And so you having that connection, I'm sure you'll have a lot of amazing experiences in your life.
Well, I think the thing about the horses is that I had them from a very small child, like 18 months. And I learned as a child to communicate with them energetically. And I learned that they could read our energy. And so I suppose I've always been in tune with that. And now I use it actually in my work, really, to help people be more aware of what they're thinking and doing.
That's awesome. That's so amazing. So with that, I'm going to put a rose up for you. And so how the energetic reading works is I go into my third eye, my mind's eye, and I put a rose up for you. And I ask you to say your birth name 3 times. And what that does is the rose absorbs your energy. And then I'm able to see things that are going on in your life energetically and read them for you. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put a rose up really quick in my mind's eye for you.
Can I just ask a question? I was christened Teresa, but I've always known as Tessa. But a mum wanted me to be a Tessa. So can I use Tessa?
It's better if you use your birth name because it's a stronger energy if it's the birth name.
But she wanted me to be called Tessa, but the priest wouldn't christen me. He wouldn't put that on my
letter.
He wouldn't let her. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then give me whatever name you feel is your essence.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Go ahead and give me your full name 3 times.
Tessa Margaret Grey. Tessa Margaret Grey. Tessa Margaret Grey.
Thank you. So the rose is turning a brilliant, like violet purple color. So I'm going to read you at like a lavender purple. And what I really like about that violet purple color is it lets me know that you're very spiritually attuned. Violet is the crown chakra color, so it lets me know that you're very connected with yourself, with your higher self and your being. So as I go into the first layer of your aura, I do see a lot of tumbles on horses, surprisingly. And it was interesting because the very first picture that came up on that first layer of your aura was you riding a horse and like jumping over, is it called a hurdle? I don't know the terminology for horses, but you're jumping over like a short fence and tumbling off of it, and then you're showing me yourself like laying in a hospital bed. So what that tells me is like you've gone through some trials in your physical body. You've gone through some aches and pains. Um, you've had to really learn how to be strong through your pain, being able to manage it well when you get hurt, um, and also overcoming fear of being hurt or potentially being broken, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm seeing a great confidence and strength in that lower layer, um, of you just being able to manage things in life and pain. Um, but I also see like a little bit of loneliness in that first layer of like almost like isolation. Like, I don't know if you spent a lot of time as a child just with the horses, but I'm seeing you like just alone a lot, like alone with the horses, not spending very much time out like in groups of friends or things like that. A little bit of a loneliness, like it's just me and the horse. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
were you going to say something?
Yeah, that's true. I did spend a lot of time. Um, okay. Yeah. I had 2 bad accidents where I ended up in hospital. So yeah.
Okay, so those pictures are accurate.
Mhm.
So you've got that loneliness in your bottom layer from your childhood is still there. So I still feel that childhood loneliness and almost like invalidation for your inner child of not being, of feeling not included, feeling isolated. And so just working on that healing, and just really loving that inner child and just filling her up with mercy and grace and gratitude for her, um, would be very helpful for you in at this time in your life. Just giving her a little bit of extra love, that inner child. Um, moving on to your next layer, which is, so the first layer is your physical body, and the second layer is your emotional body. I'm going into that emotional body, and that layer is coming up as like a cobalt blue color, which is the color of like acceptance and gratitude. Can you still hear me? My audio cut out. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
I can
good.
hear you fine. Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Okay, I can't hear you now.
Sorry about that. My audio cut out all of a sudden, and I couldn't hear you. So going into that energetic layer of yourself, I love this energy within you because it's got such a beautiful strength and an independence about itself. And I can see, like, in your adolescence years, there was a little bit of tug of war between where do you belong? What's your place in this world? And how do you fit in? And in that adolescence year, you really stepped into your being. You really stepped into your strength of knowing who you are and being able to eliminate negativity from your life. Being able to really see people for who they are energetically and knowing what belongs and what doesn't belong. And you really carry that into your adulthood. Um, and that strength is something that you pull on often now as an adult. I can see you really tapping into that strength of loving yourself completely and understanding yourself. And when people come in and they're negative or they tend to pull you down, or what I call energy leeches, where they tend to tap into your energy and suck you dry, you have a really beautiful, elegant way of like putting some boundaries up or separation between you and them and still allowing them in your life, but not allowing them to suck all of your energy away. So that's what I'm seeing in that layer. It's really beautiful.
Lovely.
When I go to your next layer, which is your layer of like self confidence, self esteem, self awareness, This one is interesting because it kind of contradicts the previous layer of emotional acceptance, where you're still kind of like that loneliness from that first layer kind of comes into this layer, and you're like, well, I'm loved. I know that I'm loved. I know that I'm accepted, but I still kind of feel lost. I'm still kind of looking for that self-awareness of like missing pieces. You're showing me like a broken puzzle, like puzzle pieces laying around the table, and where do I put the pieces together? Kind of still kind of searching for that understanding of life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense because I'm at a crossroads at the moment. So yes, so
There you go.
starting something new. So yes, it's absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So let's see if we can, is there any questions you had in regard to that crossroads? Any guidance you're searching for?
I suppose it's about, I have to move house, so it's about that one hasn't shown up yet, and it's about creating a bigger income for it, really. So it's, yeah, am I on the right path, really?
Got it. So you know what you need to do. You're just trying to get it figured out.
I'm trying to
How
get
it's
it
gonna
figured out. Yeah, I've got two ideas of businesses, and I just need to connect with the clients, really, and then I think it'll just fly.
connect. Now, are you putting yourself out there? Because I see yourself just kind of like sitting in the corner, and I don't see you really doing, you're sitting in the idea process, but you're not putting in the action.
That's very true. It's just, I think it sounds so overwhelmed that I don't know where to go to. You know, it's like, which choice do I make? Where do I go to do this? Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to want to do is create lists, 2 lists, and you want to put the pros and cons for both businesses, and then figure out which one has the bigger benefit. Because you naturally, you're a natural healer. You want to help people, but then you also don't want to be drained by them as well. And so that kind of tears you at your crossroads, right? So you need to put your pros and cons, and you need to look at it as which one is going to benefit the world bigger without me draining myself, without me giving my everything. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Uh,
I kind of want to do both, but anyway.
well, that's the thing, is you don't have the energy to do both when you're first starting out, because you have to put your all into one or the other. So
Okay.
you're going to need to put a list and figure out which one is going to be the bigger benefit to the world, not necessarily to you. Because if it's a business, you're not necessarily doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your clients.
Yeah.
And so take the ego out of it and figure out where is a bigger benefit for the people I'm connecting with. Because when you're connecting and benefiting people, your business will grow. When you're trying to feed your own energy, it's not going to grow as fast or be as successful. So you want to figure out the piece that's going to be the bigger benefit to the client. And then once you figure that out, I want you to create an action step of how to get there. So milestones, the first week, the first month, the first 6 months, the first year, 5 years. And then I want from that, break down those goals. And then once you break down those goals, I want you to figure out action steps from each goal. So the first week I need to do A, B, and C in order for me to get to my 1 month goal. I have to complete these 3 tasks in order to hit this 1 month goal. So you're not looking at the year picture, you're looking at the 1 month picture, so that it's not overwhelming, right? And then once you get your 1 month goal there, then you do your, okay, to get to the next 6 months, this is where I want to hit in 6 months. So what do I need to do in order to hit that goal in 6 months? And then break it down so that you're taking bite-sized pieces. You're not taking the whole apple, right? So break it down so it's not overwhelming, and then only focus on your current goal. Don't focus on a year from now, 5 years from now. Only focus on your current goal until you achieve it, and then move to your next section. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, moving up to the next layer, which is your heart center, your love center. This one has a lot of love for the world, but not enough love for yourself. So it's like you want to take all of your being and give it to everybody. But then you're just left there holding an empty glass. And so you need to bring in some boundaries for yourself, and you need to schedule yourself in before anything else. So it looks like you're so busy taking care of everyone else and wanting to impact everybody else, that you're forgetting about yourself.
Yes.
Yes. So what I want you to do is do your calendar or your diary. And before you start scheduling anything for work, schedule in yourself first. Even if it's just 15 minutes for a meditation, or 15 minutes to journal, or 15 minutes to soak in a bath. Like, you need to schedule in yourself before anything else and this is every single day. Because if you're not taking care of yourself before you start taking care of everybody else, you're not going to have the energy to truly serve anybody else, because you're running on empty. And when you're running on empty, you have nothing to give. So you have to fill yourself up full and allow it to spill over, and everybody gets the leftovers. They don't get you, they get your leftovers.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, the next layer, which is your communication layer, how you respond and speak to the world and to yourself. I'm seeing like a washing machine on spin cycle. You've got so many thoughts going in the air. You've got so many pieces, and you're like, well, this is really good, and this is really good. Oh, that looks great too. Oh, that's nice and shiny. And like it's like you never stop and breathe. You never stop and go, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So you need to slow it down. Maybe do you journal your thoughts out at all?
I start and then I stop, but I'll start again.
Yeah. What you need to do is you need to get all the thoughts down in a journal and then organize them instead of just letting them spin in the air. So once you write them down on paper, they're now reality, and you can then better organize them. So what I see you needing to do is like write your thoughts out on Post-it notes, put them up on the wall, and organize them in the way that, like, prioritize them. What's the most important? What's the second most important? Prioritize your thoughts, because if you're constantly searching for what's the next best thing to do, you're never going to accomplish today's goal. You're never going to start you're never going to start your purpose. You're always going to be searching for the next best thing, but you're never completing a task. So you need to start checking the tasks off as complete rather than searching for the next best thing. Stay in the present. You're very far in your future thought that you're not present with yourself.
Yeah.
And so stop running for the future and just focus on making right now, today, your best day on this earth, your most accomplished day on this earth, your most impactful day on this earth. And once you're able to stay in that present moment, then you're going to start seeing the pieces fall together. Because you can't piece your life together if you're always running for the next life. Okay. And then when I get to your intuition, which is your next layer, it's like you see the picture of what your life's supposed to be. It's like the center frame on the wall, and then you've got all of these bubbles around it, and you're focused on all of the bubbles. You're like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that today. I'm dealing with all of these prettier, shinier bubbles. And so stop and listen to yourself. Because what you're telling me, what your energy is telling me is, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't feel like it's big enough. Does that make sense? I don't feel like it's big enough, is what your energy is saying.
Okay.
But if you develop what you know you're supposed to be doing, it will be bigger than you ever thought possible.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. Yes.
Yes. Stop trying to make it bigger than it is, because it's enough.
It's enough.
You will make an impact in this world if you just stop and start taking action.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It looks like to me you're very connected with divine. You're very connected with your higher self. You listen to your guides. You see what you're supposed to be doing. You just deny them. You're just like, yeah, that's nice. See you later. I've got control over this life. I don't need your advice. But then you're like, but wait, I didn't catch that. So listen to your guides. listen to your intuition, listen to your higher self, because they're trying to show you where you're supposed to be, but you're like, yeah, I don't really want to be there, but that's your purpose. They're trying to teach you your purpose and you're running from it. And so just stay grounded, steady yourself, put your feet on the ground, stop floating in clouds, and just listen and allow them to guide you. Because if you allow them to guide you, your life's going to be a lot simpler and everything's going to be just seamless. You just have to pause and listen and stop denying your higher self. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right. Did you have any questions?
So I have these two ideas, and one is one that's resurrected itself, and the other is just something quite new. And they do fit really, really well together. But I am slightly struggling to choose because I've always done two things. And so should I just, maybe I should just sit and ask it and just decide which is going to be the best for the world and which is, yeah.
You know what I'm seeing is, you're right. They do work really well together, but the one that you're currently working on that you haven't completed yet, you've got your concept, you've got your idea, but you haven't completed it. You haven't figured out how to make it work, right? And then you saw this other shiny thing and you're like, oh, well, that will go simultaneously with this thing and it'll enhance it and make it so much better and more impactful. But you have to complete your first project and then bring the second one in.
The first project, okay.
And then bring the second one in. Because what I'm seeing is if you try to do both of them at the same time, neither one will be complete.
Okay, so is it the one with the children that I have to finish first?
So is one with children and it's one with horses? Because I'm seeing horses, but then I'm seeing children and I'm seeing like a schoolroom. So why are these three pictures coming up?
Okay, so that's I have a coach who works with horses, and I help her coach people with horses occasionally when she needs help.
Okay.
But that's something for next year. And the children idea, I've got some kids' aprons that my niece designed, and it's just like a cookery thing and teaching kids to cook. And
so that's a classroom. Is the aprons teaching kids to cook?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I see. Complete so one is aprons, and then the second idea is teaching kids to cook.
No. The one is I've got 900 aprons to sell, and I thought I could create a program where I teach them how to cook, kids to cook and their parents to cook with them, sell the aprons as a program. But basically, my real business, the thing that I really love to do, is I'm an image consultant. I'm a designer, and I design people's looks and show them how to look great on camera and on video. And this is about showing people how to present themselves on video on Zoom so that they look great and they stand out and make the impact that they want. And that's what I'm working on at the moment, and that's the thing I'm having fun with.
So I see the children right now for you to work on, and the teaching them to cook. I don't see the image designer. I don't see that. I don't see much energy around that. I feel like you may feel kind of burned out by that, or like it's ran its course. Your passion has kind of faded around that. It's what I'm feeling like. Is that correct?
It's all a bit new, and I'm actually having I love to do both, really. Actually, I mean, when people tell me that they see the transformation, they look in the mirror and think, oh my God, is that me? That gives me such a buzz. It gives me the same buzz that it did when I used to win a race.
Got it. Okay. I see. So if that really does give you benefit to your life, if it really does help to fulfill you, to fill your cup up, then keep doing it. I do see the kids in a classroom.
Okay.
So that's what I'm seeing right now for you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for coming on and giving me your time and letting me help you along your journey.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been fascinating. I've never had anything like this before, so I've really enjoyed it. And you were very, very accurate. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. Thank you for the validation.
Cool.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for tuning on to another episode of the Belief Breakthrough Show. And all month long, we are going to bring you interviews of other healers, other spiritual leaders, other ideas and concepts around your spiritual life and developing it. I will talk with you guys soon. Thanks again, Tessa, for coming on the show, and we will see you on the next episode.